Good evening and welcome into this workshop. My name is Hisham Al Sarhan and I am a faculty member at the Department of Information Studies at Kuwait University. I would like at the College of Social Sciences. I would like to welcome you all at this advanced level workshop for Microsoft Teams. And on behalf of the Distance Learning Committee at the College of Social Sciences, I would like to welcome you all and thank you for attending with us today. Um, Today's workshop, we will talk about the advanced level. So this is the second level of workshop. We conducted one last week for the actually 2 weeks ago for the faculty members at the College of Social Sciences, and for this workshop we have opened it for all faculty members from Kuwait University. So welcome you everyone. And before I start, I just want to let you know that during this workshop, you will have the option to ask questions. So if you can look at your screen, you will find a question mark icon. Just click on that, and you will be able to type in any question that you will have during or while I'm presenting. And at the end of the workshop, I will do my best to answer all of them. During today's workshop, we will go through different topics. Uh, as I mentioned, this is an advanced level, so we have already covered a lot of topics in the first workshop that we conducted for the faculty members. During this workshop, we kind of focused on specific advanced features in Microsoft Teams, which can help the faculty members conduct or present or create an interactive virtual classrooms with their students. So the first thing we will talk about is the participation settings for the different channels or sections in Microsoft Teams, as well as the participation setting in live lectures. It depends on the faculty members. They can choose or decide the level of participation or interactions with their students. So there are certain features in Microsoft Teams that could help the faculty member to assign whatever kind of features or interaction levels that would be good for them. The second important topic we'll cover is about the assignments and quizzes. We will look at examples and the different types of assignments and quizzes that faculty member could give using Microsoft Teams. Then we will look at grades and see what are the how Microsoft Teams handle grades and how faculty members can use the grades features in Microsoft Teams. Then we move to a class notebook, which is, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful feature in Microsoft Teams. Now, a class notebook is basically an interactive, a collaborative notebook in which faculty members as well as the student could use to share their thoughts, ideas, questions, comments, write their class notes, and it is integrated with Microsoft Teams. Now, Class Notebook is basically a OneNote application, and it's integrated. And for those who know OneNote, it's one of the most powerful applications that Microsoft have as part of their system. Then we will talk about adding extra tabs or features. Now, this is a very interesting feature in Microsoft Teams that allow the user or the faculty member or the class owner to add extra applications or tools within the team. So it's Microsoft Teams support the integrations of these extra applications, but we have to keep in mind that many of these applications are third-party applications, so they are not owned by Microsoft. Some of these applications will require you to have an account with them, to sign in, use a password, and this is all different than the Microsoft systems. But so we will look at some of these applications and see what kind of features they could provide for the faculty members. So let's move on to the workshop. Let's move on to the system. So let's go to Microsoft Teams. I already have it opened at this page. And as you can see, this is the main page of Microsoft Teams. When you sign in, you will have an access to all the teams that you are members, whether these teams you have created them, so your own teams or your own classes, for example, or any team that you are a member of. So these features will be, these teams will appear in the main page. And as you can see here, I have many teams. Some of these are some sample classes. Some of these teams are related to committees or the departments. So this is, we discussed in the previous workshop how to create teams and how to join, we explained all of that. So today let's talk about as we said, the first topic is about the participation settings within these teams. So for example, let me go into this class, which is the 2020 Spring 141, Section 02 Information Society class. So I've created this sample class. If we click on it, we will go into the class. Now we explained also in the first workshop about channels, and this is basically like the different sections that a faculty member could create within a classroom or a team, and it could help to organize. And my advice, I would, if there's an important advice for the faculty members, is to try to think carefully about how you want to organize your classes within Microsoft Teams, because it could become very messy very quickly with a lot of information that you could add to and the communication and the interaction with the student that you could add into each class. So for example, in this setting, in this class, for example, I have the general channel, and we said this is like the default channel that every team or every class you create, it will come with a general channel. I've created another channel for announcements. So any announcement, for example, I want it, or it will be appear in this channel. Discussions, I've created a specific channels for discussions, a specific channels for exam review. Also, I created a specific channel for virtual lectures. The main purpose for doing that is it's an easier way for the student to find any type of information that they would need or they would use for the class. So instead of having all of these information, the announcement, the discussion, the reviews, the lecture within one channel, which is general, it might be difficult for the student to find the information that they would need. Let me show you an example. Let me go to the one of the other teams that we created also as an example. This is, for example, one of the teams that we used last week as part of the workshops. And then you can, as only an example, now I am at the general channel, you could see that there's a lot of messages that have been sent and communicated within this channel. So it might be difficult for the student maybe to find a specific or a certain type of information, whether it's related to an online lecture, whether it's related to a file has been posted by the instructor. It might be difficult for the student to find this information. So creating the channels could help organize your class materials, and it would be useful, as I said, to really think strategically how you want to organize your class. Let's go back again to the to the other sample class that I have, Information Society. As I said, the main purpose that we're here is that we want to look at the settings that we have for student participation. So, for example, if instructors want to have the general channel. Now, the general channel, as I said, it's a default channel that comes with every team, and you could send messages, add files, start a meeting, send emojis, do a lot, add a YouTube videos, for example. You could do a lot of them, a lot of things within the general channel, in which you could post a lot of information in this channel. Now, based or depend on the faculty preference. If the faculty doesn't want the students to be able to post any information in this channel, they could control that. They could use that. So all what they have to do is go to the general, next to the general channel. There's the three dots for the menu. When I click on it, I click on Manage Channel, and then I will see the permission menu here. And the permission menu, we can see that for the general channel, I could have anyone post messages into this channel, or anyone can post except and whoever is whenever we post, everyone will get a notification about it. Or the last option, I can only have the owners, which is the class instructors, to have the permission to post on this channel. So I could do that as well. So nobody else would be able to post except for the class teacher. So if that's what you want in your classes, you could do that for the general channel. Now we could do the same thing with the other channels. So let's go to the announcement channel. You will see, because the general channel is kind of special channel in Teams, and it come by default. So the menu it's a bit different. So if we go to the announcement channel, and I click on the Manage Channel on the three dots, and then go to Manage Channel, I will see that the permissions menu as well. It says here, set channel moderation preference. Channel moderation is off, so it means there's no moderation for this channel, and everyone can start a new post. That's the default setting for this channel. But for example, if in my class, I want to be the only one who posts announcements in this class. I don't want any other student to post announcements. So I could turn the channel moderation to on. And then I have, who are the moderators now? Team owners, it means basically the person who created the class. So it's the instructor. But if you have a TA, for example, in your class, and you want to add the TA also, to be able to post, you could click on the team owners or manage, and then you could add the name of that person, so they can add or they can post messages into this channels as well. So you could do that. And who can start a new post? It's only moderators. That's what it says. So only moderators of this channel, so no other students would be able to post anything on this channel. And not only that, I can also decide or choose whether I want to allow the student to reply to these announcements or not. So if I want to allow members to reply to a channel message, I'll just leave the check on. Allow bot. Now bots, these are like kind of robots, basically. These are related to different applications and systems. If you want to allow them to post announcements in your channels, sometimes it depends on the application that you want to use. These applications could automatically post into your channels, but I'm not going to do that since I don't have any applications. Allow connector. This is also another feature. We're not going to talk about it today. I'm just going to remove that. But I will allow members or the students to reply to any announcement that I post in this channel. They will not be able to start or post an announcement, but they can reply to an announcement that I create. And then when I go back to this channel, I could start an announcement here. For example, first day of class is August 9 as an announcement. And just post it here. Now, as a moderator, I'm the only one who would be able to post in this channel. Students would be able to reply, but they cannot post their own channel. Now, for discussions, I have another channel called discussions. Maybe for these channels, I want students to be able to start their own post. So if a student have a question or they want to discuss an issue, so I could allow them to post, or I'll give them the permission to participate. Similarly, so I will click on the three dots, go to manage channels, and then I would decide channel moderation is off. So there's no moderator for this channel, and everyone can start a new post. I could do that. So every student can start a post in the discussion channel. The exam review, for example, I would also leave that open for the students. So they would be able, so there's no moderation and everyone, there's no moderator for that channel, and everyone would be able to post a message or a question maybe into this channel. Now the virtual lecture, these are basically the classes that I want to have. For example, in this sections, I don't want students to post any announcement. I want only the faculty member, myself for example, is the only one who posts the announcement or the classes or the recording of these lessons. And they, as a way of organizing them, I'm having a section called virtual lecture. So everything would appear in this channel for the students. So it would be an easy way for them to find the classes, or if they want to join the class, it would be easy for them just to go into this class and then click on the lecture, and then it would take them to the page to click on join, and then they would be able to join. Let's go back just so we can see at the setting for this channel. Now I want this channel, manage channels, so I already have the channel moderation turned to on, and only the moderators or the class owners can post. I will let the students to reply. Maybe if they have a question about the lecture or something, they would be able to reply. As I said, these two related to connecting Microsoft Teams to other applications. So for the time being, even if I leave them on, but since I don't have any program or applications related to this class, so I don't think I'll receive any bots or anything, any messages from them. So I'll just leave it to that. And then, as I said, these would be these messages. Only the instructor would be able to post them in this channel, and students will only be able to reply. So this is the kind of the way to control the permission. Now, even in the general channel, for example, the general channel, we allow the student to post messages, okay? But sometimes even, for example, if I have an announcement and I want to control who can reply to that as announcement, or if there's a discussion or there's a question, something, and I want to control who would be able to reply, I could stop that, I could control that. So I'm gonna enter this, edit this announcement that I have sent about the welcome message to the class. So if I want to change it, I'll just click on the three dots, the menu, I'll hover over it, and then I will see the menu. Click on the three dots, I'll click on edit, and then you can see at the top menu here, I have chosen this to be as an announcement, not as a message or a start of conversation. So this is an announcement, and then I can choose who can reply to this, whether everyone, so that means all students could reply, and or the other option is that it's only me and the other moderators. For example, if I have a TN class, these are the only two people who can reply to this. For the time being, I'll leave it to everyone. So as I mentioned, there's these options. It depends on the faculty preference, whether they want to have the interactions and the discussion going on or active within Microsoft Teams or not. So it depends on the faculty member. Okay. So these are some of the options, as I said, about the student participation within channels. Now, when you go to uh, if we go to join the live lecture, there's also different setting that we could do to control the level of participation of attendees or students in these lectures. Generally, and I had the pictures here. I had downloaded this from the Microsoft website. I could show you for any kind of live lectures, you have three types of attendees. You have the organizer and the presenters, or three types of roles within a live meeting or a virtual classroom session. So you have an organizer, presenter, and attendees. And you can notice that for an organizer and presenter, they have all the capabilities or all the features to do in the class. So they can speak and share video, participate in meeting chat, share content. It means sharing their screens, for example. They could mute other participants. So as an instructor or as an organizer, if there's someone is talking or they forgot to turn their mic off, I could mute their microphones. I could remove a participant from out of the live session, and I could even start or stop recordings. Now, in general, most faculty members, now when we create a class, we don't want to give all of these permissions to students attending to a class. Usually, so an attendee, we want to give the student this level or this role. So they could speak and share their video if they want to. They could chat, use the chat section within a live session, and they could. Now this is viewing the privately view a PowerPoint. One of the features in live session is that when a faculty member shares a PowerPoint file from within Teams, they could decide whether they want the attendees to strictly follow how the instructors is moving on with their slides, or they could give the attendees the options to move in the slides as they like, so they can move in forward, backward within slides without any problem. So these features would be available for the attendees, but as you notice, all of the other features are not available. So they cannot remove any other student from the class, or they cannot record or stop recording of the class. So basically, this is how what we're trying to learn here is to show how we can specify the level or give the role of attendee to the students. So we make sure that they cannot have these other capabilities, and these would remain only with the instructor or the organizer. So this is basically what we are trying to do. This is the different features that you could have or level of participation, if you want to call it, within a live meeting. And this is what we want to give the students. So how do we do that? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is that you go to in order to be able to do that, you need to create a meeting. So you need to create or schedule a meeting, and then after you schedule the meeting and the meeting appears in your post, when you click on it, or if you go to the three menu or three dot menu, you could click on the meeting details, take you to this page, and then you could choose the meeting options. When you choose the meeting options, if you want to remove that or leave it, and who can present. Now this is the important part. This is the questions related about or related to the permissions. If you choose only me, it means that only you would have the option to share files, record, and you would have, as you've seen before, all the capabilities of the organizer and presenter. And everyone attending that meeting will not be able to do any of these capabilities of the organizer or presenter. So everyone or all of the students will have only three capabilities: to speak, share their camera and microphones, chat, use the chat options, and the last thing is, if you give them the option, they could move in the PowerPoint slide freely. So, or for example, who can present? If you let everyone, if you choose everyone, and usually it comes by default everyone. So when you create a meeting, usually this is how it be. So you need to come in here and change the setting if you don't want everyone to have the presenter's permissions. So if you leave it everyone, it means that everyone in the class would be able to share their files, mute other students or mute other people in the class. They could remove other people from the class. So you need to make sure that you come in here and change this to only me, or if you have a TA, so you could say specific people. So it's only you, and then you choose another person from your team, like a TA. So these only would be the moderators of that meeting. So this is a very important feature that we need to be able to control or know about. And then click on save. And that's it. I'm done with that. And then I'll just go back to the meeting, to my meeting setting, and then I could click on join, and I would be able to join into that meeting. So as an instructor or faculty, I would be able to share file. Let me join, and we'll see. Let's see, just so we could see the windows. Okay. So let me turn off the cameras, the microphone. So I have all of these options before joining. Now, when I join the meeting, now as a presenter, I have the option to share files. I have the options to start recording, and I have the options. Currently, there's no other participant in this meeting, but if there's other participants or students, for example, in this meeting, I have the option to mute their microphones or even remove them of the meeting if I want to. So these options would be only available to me, and then the student will not be able to share or record or mute other students, but they would be able to start their microphones or their cameras, and they could also use the chat options in which they could type in information or questions about the lecture, the live lecture. So this is about the permission for the within classroom. Okay, let's end this meeting. End meeting. Let's go back to my class. Now, let me show you another feature that I think it would be useful. As I said, now, for example, when I want to create live lectures, I already have my live lectures appears as a post in general as well as in virtual lecture. So it's the same message, but it appears in two places, in two channels. You could do that. So for example, it's similar with this channel, with this message or this picture. I have it also appear in the general channel, and it's also appearing in the virtual lectures. So you could create a channel, or a post, and or a message, and send it to multiple channels. That's possible. So let's just look at an example. For example, so let's say, for example, now for this message, this post is shared to it's posted in these two channels. It's posted in the information organization class, and it's also posted in the information and society class. So this, not even from within the same course, I could post a message into different channels from different classes or teams. So let's see how we could do that. Basically, you go to edit, you hover on the message that you want to share with the different class. And then you click on edit. You go to the menu, click on edit, and then okay, so that's the edit. I'm able now to edit this message, and then you click on the format section, and you will have the option here to select the channels to share this message. So currently I'm sharing this message or this image into 3 different channels. In the general channel of this class, in the virtual lecture of this class, in the lectures channel from a different class. Let's say if I want to share this same message, I want to also add it to the announcements. So I'll click on select channels, and then I'll choose my class. This is Information Society. I'll go to announcements. I'll put a check on announcement, click on update, and then click on the done button here. And now if I go to announcements, this message is posted here as well. So now I can see that this message is posted in the Information Organization class, in the lectures channels, and it's also posted in the Information Society class, which is this class, in 3 different channels. So this is also a way to save time if you want to send a message but into multiple classes or multiple channels from within a class. So you could do that as well. Okay, so this is basically the participations, let's say, settings that you could do for the students, either in channels or in the live lectures. Let's talk about now assignments and grade. So assignment, there's 2 ways to create assignment. Either if you are already in a team or in a class, you could just go into assignments, and then you could review the previous assignment that you have sent, the assignment that you have saved but you haven't sent yet, or you could create even new assignments. So this is the section. Or the other option, if you want to create assignments for a different class, click on the assignment button on the left, and then you can select or choose the class that you want to create an assignment for. So let's go to Information Organization, because I already have assignments on that class. We could have a look at them, and then it will show you the different assignments that's available in that class. And not only that, so I have some drafts. These are assignments that I have worked on but I haven't sent to the students. For example, I have a chapter 1 homework. We could look at that. And then I have an assigned assignment that is already that is currently sent to the students, and they're supposed to submit back because it's due tomorrow, for example, at 10 p.m. And then I have graded assignment, and these are the assignments that I have sent to the student and I have already graded them. So when you go into assignment, the assignment will be organized based on their status, whether they're draft, assigned, or graded. You could see that. And not only that, when you look at the assigned assignments, you will see how many students have attended this assignment, for example. So this is a sample class. I only have 2 students in this class, which are our colleagues from the Distance Learning Committee. We have Dr. Riham Hushain. So when I click on the assignment, it should show me, this is Engineer Fatma Al-Muddin, that she had attended the assignment, but I haven't graded it yet. And this is from Dr. Riham Shaheen. She have submitted the assignment and I have graded the assignment. So you could see that as well. So I'm going back. Let me go into the team. So we could see, for example, from the beginning, like if I want to create an assignment from within a team, it would be easier that way. So let's click on Information and Organization, for example, class, as I said, and then I will go to the assignment, and then here I will see, similar to what we had seen before, we have the drafts, the assigned, and the graded. But let's say if I haven't sent any assignments, it should be an empty, so I wouldn't see anything here. So let's start from the beginning. I want to create a new assignment. So we'll click on a create, and then you will have 3 options. You either could create an assignment, or a quiz, or you could use an existing assignment from like a different class. So if you're teaching two sections of the same class and you have sent one assignment to one class and you want to use the same assignment for a different class, you could do that. You just copy that assignment from a different class. So let's have a look. So for example, if I click from existing, it will show me all my other classes. Let's see, information society. Do I have any assignments there? No, so I don't have assignment. Let's do the opposite. Let me go to the other class, information society class, and then I'm gonna copy an assignment from. So now I'm in the information and society class. I'll go to assignments. I have no assignments in this section. As you can see, draft, assigned, graded, all 0, nothing in this section. So I'll click create from existing, and then I will choose the information organization because there is an assignment in that class that I think would be useful, or I could copy for this class. Click next. And then, for example, I'm going to choose this, which is about activating your email. That's the assignment. And then click next. And now it will give me the option to do whatever changes in this assignment. So if I want to change the title, change the instructions, if I want to add resources, for example, add resources, we have different type of resources. Okay, so I could add PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, PDF, whatever type of videos, whatever type of resources I want to add. I could either choose them from my OneDrive. I could either choose them from Notebook, from Teams, which is from other classes. So if there's something that I already have in a different section, in a different class, I could just go to that class and grab whatever that files and add it there. So I have all different I could upload from my computer, upload from this device. So I could add any type of resources. Click cancel, I'm not going to add anything. We could add rubric, I'll explain this later on. This is a way to help grade the students. And then the class that I want to assign this homework to or assignment. This is the class which I want to give them the assignment, and I could give them to more than one section as well, as I said. So I could do, because I already copied this from a different section. Okay, so I could specify whether I want this assignment to go to all students or to specific students. Currently, I don't have any student in this class, so otherwise I would be able to choose the students. So if I wanted to give different assignment to different students, I would be able to do that. Now I could have a due date for the assignment. So let's do next week, for example. I could specify the time. So let's say 12 p.m. So noon. And then I have some very good options in Microsoft Teams related to assignments that is, for example, if a student is late and they haven't submitted the assignment, do you want to allow them to submit the assignment, or that's it? You want the assignment to disappear from their account? They wouldn't be able to submit it late. If you leave it as it is now, any student, if it passes this time, if it passes the due date and the time, the student will be able to submit the assignment, and it will show for you that the student have submitted the assignment late. However, if you want to have the options to remove the assignment from their account, they won't be able to submit it, you could do that as well. So we click on edit, and then, so first of all, we could even schedule when do you want this assignment to be posted for the students. So for example, the post date. So today, the 25th, let's say I want it to be posted tomorrow morning. So I'll choose the 26th at 9 a.m. So even though that I have finished the assignment, a student will not receive this assignment until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Now the due date, we already specified the due date, July 2nd at 12. So that's the time and the date and the time in which the student should submit the assignment. And then this is the close date. If I choose the close date, it means that the assignment will act at this time after 12 p.m. on the 2nd of July. The assignment will disappear from the student's account. And if any student who did not submit that assignment, they will not have a chance to submit it. If you want to give them an extra date, for example, and maybe deduct some point for being submitted late, so the assignment, the due date for the assignment in July 2nd, but any student would have a chance to submit a late assignment on July 3rd. And it's all explained down here. If you read this sentence, assignment will post on Friday, June 26 at 9 and is due on Thursday, July 2nd at 12 p.m. Late turn-ins allowed until Friday, July 3rd at 12 p.m. So you're giving them only 24 hours for late submission. After that, the assignment will be closed. No one will be able to submit the assignment. Okay, and then post assignment notification to this channel. So you could specify where do you want this post or the announcement or the notification of this assignment to be posted. So I want to be available on the general and let's say on the announcements. So I could choose a channel where I want to post it. So let's do it on there. Or maybe if I had a specific channel for assignments, I would be able to do that. But there's no point of creating an assignment channel since we have the tab of assignment at the top. So let's leave it to general at the time being. We click done and then click schedule. And this is it. Now the assignment will appear. It should appear now. Anyway, let me refresh the page. That's it. Yep. So now we have the assignment scheduled. Now, when students go into their to the class, to the team, they won't be able to see it today because it is supposed to be posted tomorrow. Okay. So let's create another assignment and to be posted today because I want to show you some other features, as I said, into the assignment. So let's create a new assignment and see how it's. So let's say, for example, this is first homework. And I could type any type of instructions here. And let's say I want to add a resource. Let's say I have the assignment, the questions, available in a Microsoft document file. So I could go and click and add a resource. I could look for the file that I want to add, and maybe it's from OneDrive or from other classes or other teams, as I said, or I could even create a new document as a homework. So let me do that. Let me create a new document and let's call it like first homework. So this is a document in which I want the student to answer the questions, or give their answer in this document. And I could open that document and edit it. I'm doing all of this work within Microsoft Teams. So actually, yeah, I would be able to view the document. Here, let's click close. I should be able to edit it. There's an option to edit. Yeah, it's here. It's edit document. So I could change the document, edit the document. So now I'm kind of using Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Word within Microsoft Teams. So let's say I'll pass them to name, date. So these information the student will require to fulfill them. And then, for example, question 1. What is your opinion about distance learning, for example? That's the question. And then I want the student to answer this question and click close. Now, so I have this document. I want it to be sent to the student. Now, Notice under that document, there's an option that says student can't edit this document, but this is not what I want. I want the student to be able to edit and send me this file and answer, write their answer in this file and send it to me. So I'll go click on the attachment option in the menu, and then I should choose student edit their own copy. This way, each one of the students will receive his own copy of this document, and then they can answer that copy of the document. So the system will create different copies for different students, and each student will answer their own copy and send it back to me, and I'll be able to grade these papers. And I could add other resources, as I said, I could add as many resources as I want. For example, let's add this. This is, we have, let me choose a file from other teams. So let's see the information organization. Let me add a class material, something maybe they have to read. For example, I'm adding this file, attach. So I'm adding a PDF file for student to view. So I could add as many documents as they can. So they could open it in Team, download it, or I could download it. So I could add. Now, then I could add how many points I want to give this document, this assignment. So for example, I want to give it 3 points. And then I could add a rubric. A rubric is a very powerful tool that could help the student to know how they would be graded for each assignment. Now, if you have already created rubric in the past, you will be able to see them here and reuse them again. So for example, I already have created an open-ended questions rubric. So to help to grade any open-ended questions that I would give to the students. So if I choose that, it will add that rubric to my assignment. And this is just to show you how the rubric is designed. So this is it, open-ended, and you could design it whatever way that fits your assignment. So this rubric is used for open-ended questions. Now, any questions, if I want to grade it, I would grade it based on these criteria: whether the student have a main idea, do they have details and examples, and the organization and grammar of their answers, the clarity, for example. I could add as many criteria as I want, or I could remove any criteria. So let's save it for keep it for 3 criteria, and then I could specify what does an excellent answer for that, for a main idea mean. What does that mean? What does an excellent answer would be like, or a good or fair or poor answer? And each one would have a grade based on that answer, and then I would give each criteria a weight for my question. So for example, I could give each one, now that I only have three criteria, so I have to change these into, for example, to 40%, and then this to 20, sorry, to 30, and then 30. So the total would be 100. So this option, or this criteria weigh more than the details and example or the organizational grammar. I could do this 40, 40, 20, for example. The important thing is that the total should be 100. And then I specify the details, and this will appear to the student. The student will be able to see that when they want to answer their question. And then I click attach, and that would be attached to the student's assignments. Okay, the open-ended question criteria. Again, as I said, I specify which channel I want to send this assignment, or which class I want to send this assignment to, specify the students, and then decide when it's the due date, when it's the time of the due date, and just send it. So I'm not going to change the details of the closing. Okay, it's not clicking here. Okay, so assign. And now we assigned the first homework to the students. So when you click on it, now a very interesting feature that when you click an assignment and you want to see how a student would look at or see this assignment, you click on student view. So it will show you how this page, so this is how the student will look into this page or this assignment. So it's the first homework. I could have written any instructions here, for example, answer all questions in the attached file. And then when a student open this file, they would be able to click on edit document, type in their name, date, and write whatever answer they have. And then they would be able to see the 3 point for this questions for this homework. And then when they click on the rubric, they would be able to see how would, as an instructor, I would be able, or I would grade this assignment. So if they want to get a full point or full mark, they need to follow the excellent instructions or the excellent criteria. That in that way they would be able to get the full points of that assignment. So that's how the student would be able to see that. And then after they're done, they would be able to submit it. And I, as an instructor, I will be able to see the students' files and grade them. Okay, so let's go back. So this is for assignment. Let's create a quiz now. Now, a quiz is basically similar to assignment, and it has a lot of tools. But the thing about it is that for a quiz, you have to use Microsoft Forms, which is basically a tool used for quizzes or survey or polling. So if I click on a sample, if I already have made the quiz before in Microsoft Form, I would be able to see my previous quizzes here. And I would be able to edit them as well. Or I could create a new form, a new quiz. So let's do that. Let's create a new quiz. So when I click on it, it will take me out of Microsoft Team into Microsoft Forms. And it will ask me, I'll close this window. And then I would see the option. I will see all of my previous quizzes or forms or whatever I have created in this account. And then it would ask me if I want to create a new form or a new quiz. So let's do a new quiz. And then, so this is chapter 1 quiz, for example. And then I could add descriptions. It says here you could add a theme. So let's have a theme just to change the color, then hide it. You don't want to show that. Okay, so you can change the colors. Now you could choose, you can add the type of questions are here kind of limited. There's not as much as the ones in Blackboard, but you could use them if you want to create. For example, so we have a multiple choice questions. So you could have like true and false, true, false answers if you want. And let's say 1 + 1 = 2. That's my question. And then if you want to be required question, and then you could add point, like this has 1 point for the question. And then you should choose which one of these question is the right answer. So it's true. 1 + 1 is 2. So that's the correct answer. So this is like a multiple choice question. You could add a text questions, like an open-ended question. And it could be of any type question, like what is the capital of Kuwait? And then you could add an answer, Kuwait, for example. But if anyone types anything different than this answer, it would be wrong. And I will give it also at 1 point. Let's have question mark at the end here. And this is also a required question. Okay. We could add rating questions. Depending if you want stars, simple, numbers from 1. This is usually for polling. So maybe if you want to ask about their opinion of something, maybe it's not part of a quiz. But you could add, okay, so a question about dates. You could have a ranking. So for example, let's pre-order. Pre-order old to new, for example. And you could say, for example, TV. Now you have to put the right order here, and then in the question it will reorder them in the wrong way. So and ask the student to put them in the right order. So it's like, so for example, if I want to do numbering from 1, 2, 3. So order from small to large, let's say. From small to large. And these are my options. This is required one. So I could add any type, multiple choice. You could have multiple answers. So for example, 1 plus, again, 1, or let's do something more difficult, 4 plus 2 equal. So I could say this is now multiple answer. So I have more than one correct answer. So I have 4 plus 2. I have 6. Let me add another one, add an option. 8 minus 2, and then add 4 plus 4. Now I have 3 correct answer here. I have this. Let's do this. 6. So I have 3 correct answer in this question. And I could add as many questions that I want to this. Now to preview my quiz, this is, clicked on preview, so it would show how the, so this is, for example, true or false. What is the capital of Kuwait? Now this is, as I said, when I put them, I could change from 1, 3, 2. So I could, so this is a reordering question, and this is, so this is, I could only choose one option. It's a multiple choice. This one I could choose many options. And I could, and each one you could see the points. You could see it whether it's on mobile or computer. And these questions would be automatically graded. So for example, if I type in Kuwait here, this would be automatically graded. When I click submit, your response was submitted. I could view my results. I got 4 out of 4 because of my answer, all of them correct. Now, these options you could control in a quiz. If you want to have the students see the results, so I went back to the edit page of the questions. I'll go to setting of the forms in the 3 dots. And here at the setting, I could specify what kind of feature that I want to have, or what kind of criteria I want to be for this quiz. For example, anyone with the link can respond. No, I only want the people in my organization to respond, and I want to be their name to be recorded, and I want only each person to have one response because it's a quiz. Okay. So, do you want to add a start date for a quiz? You could do that. So, for example, this quiz should start tomorrow, maybe at 9, and I want it to end at 9, not even 9:30. I want to change it to 9:15. Now the minimum amount of time difference you could have is 15 minutes between the start and the end time. So, do you want to shuffle questions? Yeah, let's do that. Lock questions and customize. Thank you. You could have thank you for your answers. Okay, you could customize your message. Now send an email receipt to the respondent. You could do that. And if you want to get a notification for each student to respond, you could do that as well. So these are some of the features that you could do at the setting. Now show result automatically. I skipped this one. Do you want the student to see the results of their answers at the end? If you don't want them to see that, no. So we don't want to do that. So they'll submit their quizzes. I will get their answer. I will see the result, but only when I allow or send it back to them, they will see their answers. And that's it. So this is the setting, for example, for the quiz. And then, because we already answered once, this is how the responses would look like. So you have like a kind of a place to do some statistics. So now we created the quiz. The quiz is already created. We've done it, the chapter 1 quiz. It's saved in, so I can just go back, close Microsoft Forms, and go back to the, again, to the assignment page, and we want to add that quiz. So create a quiz, we'll add that quiz, and I should find it here, sample chapter 1 quiz. This is the one we just created, so I'll just add that quiz. Next. And they're similar to the feature that we had for an assignment. I could specify, it automatically brought the number of points from the quiz because it's already calculated. I could add instructions here. Please answer all questions, for example. Also, I could specify to whom this quiz should go to if I want to assign to a specific group of students. So I could have different quizzes assigned to a different group of people. So I could have different versions of these quizzes. And again, I could have a due date, a time, for the submission of this quiz. And I could also add a close date. So after that time, that specific certain times, a student would not be able to submit the quiz. So I could have that as the part of controlling the quiz. And then assign. And that's it. Chapter 1 quiz now is posted for the students. So this is how we could post the student. So this is basically for the assignment and quizzes in Classroom. Let's move on to grades. Grades basically is also in the general channel. When you click on grade, because I don't have students in this class, let me go to another team, which I have students. In the information organization. Okay, yes, so let's go to grades in here. And here it should show all the assignment that you have posted, along with all the name of the student on this side. And then it should be able to see, you could either change or you add the grade for the student from the assignment section. When you add a grade for students in the assignment section, you would be able to see their grades in this table here, in this section. And then you could even export the this table into Excel and do any other or other type of statistical analysis on your results. So this is basically the grade. If you want to change it or do something, you could do it directly from here. You could do that. If you want to view a student work based on the any assignment, just click on the 3 dots, open student work, and it will show, for example, the work of the students. You could give the student feedback from here, and then you could return that assignment to the student. I already returned these. Otherwise, for example, if I want to say nice work, so whenever I do any changes and then I click on return, the student will receive a notification that a document has been returned to the instructor. Now, if I want to change or move to another student, I could just click on the arrows here next to the student name. So it will take me to the next student. So this is, for example, as I said here, I only have 2. This is sample class, so I only have 2 students here. So previously we had Engineer Fatma Al-Middin, and this is, for example, the document or the assignment for Dr. Riham. And as you can see, each student, because I did specify for this assignment that each student should get their own file. So each student have a different file, separate file, and I would be able to grade these files separately and even edit the files and type in comments or whatever on the file of the student, and I could give them feedback. and I could even see the rubric. The rubric is already in here, and I could choose, for example, instead of typing the grade directly, I could choose, for example, well, in terms of clarity, that she gets a full mark. In terms of, or maybe this one or this, I could choose what I want to give them for, and you can see the grade is changing, for example, at the top, and they click done. So I could use or select based on the rubric that I have created for the students, and they click on return, and that's it. The student will receive a notification that this assignment has been returned to them. So this is basically about the grades in classroom. Okay, so in addition to these features, now originally when you sign in a team, you would have the post files, assignment grade, and class note. This is, as I said, one of the most important features. A class notebook, it's a feature that you need to activate before a student could use it in a class. And basically, when you go to a class notebook, it has different sections. It's the OneNote application. If you want to expand the view of this screen, just click on the two arrows. So I'm just expanding the view, and then in a notebook, basically, when you enable this feature, what the system would do is create a notebook for you, and you can see this, and it's like just a regular notebook, but it's a collaborative notebook in which students would have a collaboration space. In this space, all the students can type in or share or join and interact with each other. They all can be part or type into this same document. This is on the collaboration space. This one here, the collaboration space. The content library space, this is a place in which you would be adding content to read only. So all students can only read whatever you post on that document. They cannot do or change anything. In addition to that, each student will have their own notebook, own section. So each student will have, when they open their notebook, they will see the collaboration space, they will see the content library, and then they will see their names only. But as an instructor, you'll be able to see all the name of the students. So the student's notebook is basically it's a shared space for the instructor and the student to share some written documents or note or discussion, and it can be organized by the instructor. So let me go to the other class, because I think I did that in English. Let me go back to the let me go back to Teams. Okay, let me go to the information and site class, go to class notebook, and then so I'm going to set up, as I said, if you didn't set up the notebook, you need to set up the notebook class, the OneNote class notebook. So I'll do that. So we'll do a blank notebook, and it explained the 3 types of spaces that it will create. Next, now you could specify what sections you want to give the students. So you will have the collaborative space and the content library, and then, for example, you could have a space for the student for the handouts. Class notes, I don't need for handouts. Let's say for class notes, so a student could type in their notes. They could have a place for the homework. I'm not going to say quizzes, so let me say questions. A place so they can write their own questions. If I want to add another section, discussion, for example. So, and each student will have these sections within their notebook. And when I click create, it should be creating my notebook for the students. And as I said, since I don't have any student in this class, it will not show me the student sections here. But each student, if I had any student, I would be able to see all the student name, and each student, I would see the 4 sections that I have created for them. And whatever I add or type in the collaborative space area, the student will be able, so using the collaborative, and they have all these explanations available in the page. So I could add or type in anything. I just could click on any place and type anything. Questions, for example. And every student would be able to do that in this space, because this is a collaborative area. So all the students could share and type in whatever they want in this space. Okay. Now, in terms of content library, this is a space. So let me add a new page here. So, for example, this is a reading, for example, that I want the student to see and view. I could insert a document. A file. I could choose insert as attachment. Hold on, let me insert it as a, so I can show you. Insert as a file printout. So let me choose a file. I don't have any PDF files here that we could use, but you would be able to choose any PDF document and it will be displayed on this page. You could record as well, voice. You could add an image, pictures. You could add any types of documents, and whatever you add in this page, the student will be able only to read it, but they cannot do any changes into these pages. So this is basically the collaborative notebook. Now let's go back to team, to main team. Now, in addition to these sections which we talked about, you could also add other applications. If you click on, I already added 3 of them here. These are the ones I want to talk about. But you could add as many applications. There are a lot of tools and applications provided by Microsoft. You could look into these tools and applications and see what feature they could have. For example, if you don't want to use the classroom notebook, you could use a wiki, for example. Let me add a wiki to show you. So this is a wiki. I'm adding it here. Let me show you how you could use a wiki. A wiki is also a space for students to collaborate. So for example, let's say this is day 1. Okay, and I'm gonna have section in day 1. This is, for example, the title of our section, the title of that lesson. Then we have, let's say, main objectives. For example, then I have examples. And then questions, for example. And you could type in a lot of information under each one of these sections based on the lecture that you gave on that day. Now, if you want to add another one, just go to a new page. So for a different day, for a different lecture, so day 2, for example. So this is the second lecture, the same thing. So this is, we will have the title of that lecture. Type in here, someone would type the title. Then we have the main objective of that day. Main objective. Typos here. And you could type in 1, 2, 3, and I just type in. Then you have, as I said, you have example that you have discussed on that day. So this is a wiki, and this is a place where students also could, in which students could share thoughts and share information. So it's also a collaborative. This is also another example. If you don't want to use class notebook, for example, wiki is much simpler than a class notebook, but I think class notebook is more powerful. Poly, another application, is used to, if you want to ask students to vote about something, you could download Poly. But Poly is a third-party application, so you need to sign into Poly and check. I'm trying to see why it's not working. But when you download Poly as one of the tabs in your classroom, you would be able to post using Poly. It would appear down here. So if I want to create a new poll, so for example, so as I said, you have to sign in with these applications because of these third parties. So I want to create a new poll. Like I want to ask students about how they feel about today's lecture. So it's for the general recording. There's lots of different options here. I just want to go. So these are the type of questions. So we have open-ended, multiple choice, rating. Let me do ratings. And let's do happy, for example. So these are the options students will have. How do you feel, for example, about today's lecture? And then the student will be able to see that. Now I could have them to add comment. I don't want to ask for the comment, but they could add comments. And the result, do you want to post them to your student? Do you want the student to see their results or not? Do you want to share it? Show results in real time or after the poll close? Do you want to use let the student use their real names or anonymous? So it's up to you, all these options. And then click on preview, and this is how it would look like. And this would be sent to the students, so they could choose whatever they want. And then submit the vote. And you will be able to see the results. So when I send it, Poly will appear as part of the post here. So I could, for example, choose and then submit, vote, and it will show, view all results, and it will show the name of the person who voted and the percentage. So this is one of the tools that you could use. Kahoot is like a game type of application that you could use also with your students to quiz them maybe, or like to review some of that. That's also another popular you could read about. Insight is a very important tool. It would show you the level of activity that happened during your class or participation. Let me go back to the other team because we had students in that class, so it would be easier to see how Insight would be useful. So I have Insight here. If I click on it, you can see it would show you some statistic and some graphs about the level of participation for the students. For example, for today, 7 days ago, last month, or at all time. So let's choose all time. As I said, I have only, for example, 2 students here, and it will show me each day. And when I go and click for any of the dots here, it shows that this student did something in the team on that day. And when I click on the details, so it would show me, for example, on this day at 7:40 p.m., this student did all of these things in class in Meet. So they reviewed the final exam, they visited a channel, they edited a file, they downloaded a file, they turned in an assignment. So it showed me the level of participation a student would do. So this would help to see, it would help the instructor to see whether students is being active in the class or not. I think I'm gonna move on to the question now because we already passed, we are very close to the end time of this workshop. But the last thing we talked about is Insight. So this is also one of the applications. As I said, if you want to find all these applications or tools, you just click on the plus sign and you'll find a lot of tools and applications here. We talked about Poly, Wiki, Kahoot. We didn't explain, but it's also a very good application. Insights, which give you a lot of information about the students in your class. Let me move on to the questions to see if we have any questions. We have a lot of questions. Let's hope we can answer them all. Okay, so there's a certificate for attending this class. There's been a talk about this, but we have to discuss this with the college. After the lesson is over, I would be able to get the name of people who attended this class. So if they decide to send a certificate, we will be able to do that. There is an echo. I don't know why, if there's an echo. There's a problem with the sound. Someone is saying, why the grades of quizzes are not shown in grade when it's open? It's like what happened to corrected assignment. The grades of quizzes will be shown in grades when the students submit their assignments, the quiz. So when the students submit, answer the quiz in forms and submit it, it should show in grades. The only issue or the only problem, you have to make sure that when you created the quiz using Microsoft Forms, that you chosen a quiz, not a form, because you need to add the grade or the point for each questions in the forms. Increase the font size. I don't think I would be able to do that. Turn off the screen lock, then rotate. Okay, so someone is answering. Abdullah, yeah, thank you for the Engineer Abdullah, Engineer Fatma, they're helping me answering a lot of the questions, so thank you very much. Is it, yes, we explained this. It is possible to control the recording permission. The question is it possible to control the recording permissions? I said, yes, it's possible. When you create a meeting, let me show this. This is very important. When you create a meeting, let's go back. And we explained in the last lecture, last workshop, how do you create a meeting? When you create a meeting and it appeared in your post, just go click on the post and then go to meeting options. And here, who can present? Who can present? At this question, you should choose only me. When you choose only me, it means that if you have a TA, for example, you would choose specific people and then you choose yourself and the TA. Okay, so for example, if I choose specific people, I should be able to specify who would be able to present, only the presenters. Okay, so for the time being, I'm going to choose only me and then click save. This means that everyone attending that section or that session, let me go back to close, and then I want to go back to the image which we shared in lectures. It's here. Everyone attending the meeting will only have these permissions. They can speak and share video, they can chat, and they can control the PowerPoint files only if the instructors give them the permission to do that. But they would not be able to start or stop recording. They would not be able to mute other participants. These would be only these capabilities or these features only available for the organizer and the presenter, and that's it. Okay, so let's go back to the questions. How can I make an announcement in channel? If you want to create an announcement in channel, we explained this also in the last lecture. So I'm in a channel now. Just type in, go and type here at the bottom of the channel where you can create a post. If you want to make an announcement, you click on the format button at the A at the bottom, and then choose at the top option here, the drop menu. You have either announcement or a conversation. So when you make an announcement, we'll have a special heading. So this is, for example, announcement. I'm forgetting the N. There's another mistake. Yes, announcement. That's it. And then I can post it. So I just sent an announcement now. Okay, so that's how you can post an announcement in a class. Okay, so let's go back and see what other questions we have. Can students record lectures? Only if the teachers give them that permission. Can the lobby be used for office hours? No, office hours, it can be organized through the calendar. Maybe we should talk about this in another lecture, maybe to give to because different options for office hours, or you could create a a special meeting with the students directly using email or using the chat room instead of using a classroom. Okay, can I know what the participants are seeing? Engineer Abdullah is answering that one. Someone saying the screen text is too small. Could you sign the quiz for class time? I don't understand what that means, but if you want to, if you mean that to assign a quiz for at a specific time, yes, you could do that. You could assign a quiz for a specific time. Always disconnected. Yeah, this is a problem with the internet. It happens, but you could sign in again. When you shuffle question, will they be different for each student? Yes, each student will have different order of the questions when you shuffle them. Can you add attendance to forms like an image? Can you add attachment to form? Yes, you could add attachment, an image. An image you could add, not a file, not a PDF file or a Word document, but you could add images to forms. Yes, that's possible. Okay. Okay, locked question, a question about a locked question. Locked questions means that these questions that you don't want to be shuffled, and these should be, for example, either at the beginning of the of your form or at the end. So if you want to add, for example, a question about the name, so it would be at the beginning of the form, and then these questions you could lock it, so it's always going to be the question number one. So that's what the lock questions. I didn't explain it because usually, when you use quizzes, you would automatically collect the name of the student. So if you want to shuffle the questions, you just shuffle all of the questions. You don't have to ask the student for their names. Do the questions and quizzes appear one by one? No. In Microsoft Forms, the question will appear all as a survey, one list. So they cannot, you don't have the option to post the question one by one. However, you could do branching. It's possible to do that, but it would require some extra work to create each question in a different section. So in Forms, you could create different sections, and each section will have different number of questions, and you could determine how you would move along these sections of questions. So if you decide to have one question in each section, it would be possible for the student to see each one question at a time. But it will require some extra work to do that one. So it would require extra work, but it's possible. You could use Kahoot. Some is asking about Kahoot. Can we use Kahoot? Yes, it's possible. Kahoot is integrated. Can you find quiz form? I don't understand this question. How can I find a quiz form? A quiz form, it's in form. When you go to Microsoft Forms, let me go quickly. When you want to create an assignment, let's go to the general channel and then click on assignments. And then create quiz. Then click on new form. Now this is, yeah, it's important. So what I'm now in my form, Microsoft Form application. There's a new form and there's a new quiz. If you use quizzes, it means that you can assign point for each questions, and then the grades of these questions will be automatically integrated into your Microsoft Teams class. With the new form, you will not have grades. So make sure if you want to create a quiz, make sure you choose a new quiz, not a new form. And this is why maybe some who said that there's no point when the student answer, because maybe they created the quiz using a form but not a quiz. So make sure that you choose new quiz. Okay, let me go back to the questions. Posting is different in my account. It depends on what type of messages are you posting, because if you're posting an announcement or text or a file, you could do a lot of types of posting. And we talked about posting messages in a channel in our previous lecture. All of our lectures are available on YouTube, and I will show you the account at the end of the information technology unit on Twitter, in which also all of our YouTube videos were posted there, so you could go back and check them. In Teams, linked to for creating class sections and adjusting final grade to the school system. I think someone's asking if Teams is linked to the school system, the school management system. I don't think so. No, you still have to upgrade or upload your grades using the portal, Kuwait University portal. It's not automatically linked with the school system. Please, how can I stop attendee from unmuting themselves? There's no way that you can control an attendee all the time. You can mute them, but if they keep unmuting themselves, the only other option is that you can kick them out of the room, and then they will not be able to join, I think, for a certain period of time, maybe like 15 minutes. So that's the only option. But if you keep muting them and then they're not listening to you and making noises, you just kick them out from the room. That's the only other option. Can a student see each other's notebook? No. Each student will have his own notebook, his or her own notebook, and they will not be able to see other notebooks. The only one who can see the student's notebook is the instructor. So the student could type in their notes, type in question, example, whatever, and then could ask the instructor to review, for example. Or maybe the instructor could give a question during the class and ask each student to write the answers or reflections or whatever in their own notebook, and then the instructor will be able to review the answer for each student. So that's one of the use for notebooks. Okay, do you have to pay for Kahoot? Yes, Kahoot, they have a free service, a free account, like with limited features, and if you want to use the full features, I think you have to pay it. Kahoot is a third-party application, so it's not related to Microsoft, but it is possible to integrate Kahoot to Microsoft. Okay. Please talk about taking attendance. We explained that in the previous workshop. So for those who are interested in knowing how do we take attendance during a live lecture, please go back to the recording of the last workshop and you would be able to see that. Someone is also asking about student participations within the live lecture. If you're giving a live lesson, a live lecture, as I said, you could use attendance, and we explained that in the last workshop, and the recording is available. Now, if you want to ask about student participation with Teams, for example, how many times a student have posted or replied or reviewed a file or submitted an assignment, you could use Insight. As I said, let's go back and just so you can have a look at Insight. Let me close this. So Insight should give detailed information about the students in your class. So for all activities, you could choose a specific student as well. So I could choose one student, and it will show me every day since we started the class, or go to a specific day and see what did the student do on that day. So for example, I clicked on this day, and I can see like at 4 p.m. the student did this and that, and previewed this file, submitted this assignment. So you could follow the student. Insight is a very powerful tool to follow the activities of student with teams. So it could help to the instructor to see which students are falling behind and which students are up to date with the assignment or the information that they give. Okay, let's see what else. How can I enter a team? By typing a link. We explained that also in the previous section. Someone is also asking about attendance. I'm sorry, because of the times, I don't think I can go and look into attendance because I have to. They have to, first of all, they have to be students, so I can take attendance. And currently, I don't have students, but we did show that in the previous workshop. Let's see. Thank you very much. How can we show that students are not solving the question and quiz together? Using other media. This is about someone's asking about how students are cheating, for example. It's hard to control. The only Microsoft Teams provide you some of the tools, but you cannot have a full control. Even in a regular classroom, not everyone would have a full control of what student can do or cannot do. If a student want to cheat, they would be able to cheat and find ways to cheat. But at least we have some tools to control, for example, the time tool and shoveling and having different versions of a quiz. So you could create 4, 5, 6 different versions of the quiz and give students different versions without knowing each student what type of question they are getting. So they're different tools, and the faculties would be able to they have to think about how to use these tools in order to minimize possible cheating maybe in the classes. So that would be my answer, but I cannot be 100% sure that student would not be cheating. I don't have an answer for that one. Okay, so they're asking, some people asking about the recording. Yes, this session will be recorded. Yes, the session will be recorded and will be posted on YouTube, so you all will be have access to it. You have a lot of questions about recording this session. Okay, when I'm the organizer of a meeting, by rule, I should be able to see the downloaded attendance button, but for me, that download option is not coming, even though the option is to some people, even though the only reason I would assume that if there's no attendance in the class, if there's no one in the class, then the attendance button will not appear. So try it, but with students in the class, I think it should appear, because even the mute button, if you are in the class or try it by yourself, you will not see the mute all button in the live meetings. So that's the only reason for I would think of why you cannot see the attendance, the button for attendance in the live classroom. Okay, I'm talking about the download attendance button when you click on participant in a meeting. Yeah, so the only reason, if there is no participant, maybe that button will not appear. What is lock question? We explained that. Some users have problem with meeting option. They got the message that CBA cannot control the team. I'm not sure. I haven't seen this message before, but you could contact maybe the support team so we can look into this into more details. I never seen this error message before. I could not unmute my student when they muted themselves. Yes, as a faculty member, you cannot control the microphone of student or the camera. You cannot turn it on, the mic or the camera. If a student decide to close their camera or mute themselves, I cannot open their microphone and I cannot open their camera. However, if they decide to open their camera or open their microphone, I, as an instructor, I have the option to turn it off. That's it. But I cannot do the opposite to turning on the cameras or microphone. So students take the quiz during class. Yes, you could specify it a specific time. You could put the time and specify a specific time for student to take a quiz, and then an end time or close time when that quiz will end. And then after that time, the student will not be able to take that quiz. Will the class notebook features be available to student added later on? Yes, it will be. Any student added later to Teams, they will have the option to have their own class notebook. Homeworks on OneNote better or on Teams? It depends, based on preference. I like OneNote a lot. OneNote, I think it's one of the most powerful. I like it even more better than Microsoft Word. So I think OneNote is a very powerful tool, but it needs people to get used to it. That's it. How can I stop the recording by students? As an instructor, if a student is had the option to record, the instructor will have also the option to stop or to restart the recording. As I said, the only way to prevent students from recording the lessons is to change the permission, the status of the student to attendee. This way they will not be able to record the lesson. So they have to do that ahead or before starting the meeting, before that you start the meeting. Okay. Do the grades for quizzes show their overall percentage? I haven't tried the percentage, but what I know about, what I'm sure of, that you could export the file into Microsoft Excel, and I'm sure you could do that in Excel. So I know you could add the points and grades in the forms for the quizzes, and then you will get a point of grade, not as a percentage. But if you transfer the files into Excel, you would be able to do that in Excel. But I don't think you would be able to get the percentage directly from forms. I haven't seen that. Is it possible to add a pool of questions of quiz and then allow to choose? No, this feature is available in Blackboard. Is to have a pool of questions and then automatically choose questions for students. No, this feature is not available in Microsoft Forms, but it's available in Blackboard. How did you hide the question in the chat part? I'm not sure about that. I don't remember. I don't remember I hid any questions in the chat part. Can we play? But yes, this workshop is recorded, and then it would be available to you. You're welcome. A lot of people are thanking me. I would thank you for staying all this time with me. My colleague and would like to recording. You would get a recording if you follow. Let me show you the slide, so you all, before everyone leaves. This is the account for the Information Technology Unit at Kuwait University, at the College of Social Sciences, and the recording will be posted at their Twitter account. So you would be able to get the recording. I should have posted this earlier. Sorry, I left that. There is a lot of, have you had students record their ideas in their notebook? We haven't started so far with the student using notebook, but I think it would be very useful for students to use it and learn about it. I used OneNote during my study when I was a student in long time ago, and it has less feature than what it has right now. And as I said, for me it is more powerful than Microsoft Word. So it helped me a lot during my school time. OneNote. So that's why I would encourage people to learn about it and use it. Okay, how will all students be added to the team list? Now, Kuwait University, they're working on adding the student automatically, but we did explain these steps of how to generate the code for your teams and sending the code to students in the first workshop. So, and that's the recording of that workshop is available, so you could watch that. And the link for that workshop is available at the account, the Twitter account of the Information Technology Unit at the College of Social Sciences. Could we please tell us the YouTube site for the videos? It will be posted at the Twitter account. Okay. May I have the recording? Yes, you will. Assignment. Thank you. You're welcome. Are we allowed to do office hours activities by communicating with students through our special email? I don't know, and this is a question about regulation. If we can use our private emails or our personal email, I think it's possible. As long as you're communicating with students, I don't see anything wrong with it. But in terms of regulations, we're still waiting from Kuwait University to post the new regulations for distance learning, because there are a lot of regulations. We're waiting for some related to the maybe final exam, some related to attendance. We're waiting for that. Some of related to the use of other social media tools, for example, like WhatsApp, personal emails. So the questions about whether we could use our personal emails, such as Yahoo, Gmail, to communicate with students, I think it's possible, since we've been doing this a long time ago. But I think it's the idea that everyone is moving toward the professional email account. It would be useful to use the Kuwait University email account, even to encourage students to use their Kuwait University's account. If the student not went off, will the attendance be recorded? If a student, as long as student is in the class or signed into the class, their attendance will be recording. Maybe they joined the class and then they left the computer, went away. We wouldn't be able to know that. That would be based on the instructor, maybe to ask some questions, call in students randomly. So that will be based on the question, on the instructor's way to check on the student's attendance. When I'm an organizer of a meeting by rule, okay, this, I think I answered this questions. Can we get the list of all the team members as an Excel or any option? I think so. I have to check on this. This is a good question. If I can get a list of all the team, but yes, if when you go to assignments or grades, when you go to grade, you will be able to export all the team, all the name of the students as a table with the grade. So yes, you would be able to get the list of all the team members in Excel. Yes, that option is possible. Yes, you could do it from grades. If you go to grade, you would be able to export the file to Excel format. Okay, a lot of people asking again about the recording. When I click a new form, the program, there's a lot of questions, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, but there's more than 102 questions, so I'm trying to go through them. And thank you to Engineer Abdullah, Engineer Fatma, they are helping me in answering this question by typing. I'm asking recording because I'm from medicine. I don't know, I'm not sure about this question. The recording will be available hopefully by tomorrow. It will be available, and then we'll post it in at the Twitter account. How can I delete old conversation? It is very annoying. Seems the message cannot be. Yes, you can delete messages from. Let me go to the meeting just to show you how you can delete a post, a message. So for example, this is a post that I've sent. It's a YouTube link, for example. And just when you hover on the message, just a menu will appear with the reactions buttons maybe, and they should be delete. Here it's the third one. So when I click on delete, that message is deleted. So I could delete any message from my post. This one, let me see. Yep, that's deleted. So this message has been deleted. So you could delete message. Just hover on any message. When you see the menu, the 3 dots, click on it, and then you should see the delete button, and you'll be able to delete these messages. This option only available for the organizer or the instructor of the classroom. Is not available for the students. So you could do that. You could delete messages. I think I should stop now. We took about 20 minutes over the time. So thank you all. I hope this was helpful for everyone. As I said, we will post the link of this recording to everyone. Thank you all for attending. I appreciate your time for being here, and I hope this would been helpful. If you have any questions, let me show you the slides again for the accounts of the College of Social Sciences, the Information and Technology Unit. You could send them a message through the Twitter account, or you could send them a message through WhatsApp as well. So, and we'll be very happy to help those who need any help with Microsoft Teams. Thank you again for your time. I apologize, it took us more than what we expected, but I hope this was useful and helpful workshop to everyone. Thank you, everyone.